Hello and welcome to Basement Fodder, the only show podcasting live from Taylortown Comic Con. I'm Todd.
And I'm Dave.
He is Dave, but not my Dave. Dave Patterson is with us.
Hey, how's it going, man?
And the beautiful and talented indie huntress herself, Crystal O'Rourke. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me back.
We're tableizing today, is what you call it. Actually, we're slacking horribly, and Dave is running the table.
Yeah. Somebody has to be the grown-up in the group.
Somebody has to. Who's that? We came our cosplay today, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
And it's too damn hot for mine, I tell you that.
But it is very, very, very realistic.
Can't be Silent Bob, but it's 400 degrees in here. I don't know how he does it, because Kev wears that damn thing almost all the time.
Well, he wears hockey jerseys, too.
Yeah, the hockey jerseys, yeah. I need a hockey jersey, like, in the worst way.
Hell yeah, you do. You look damn good, though. You rock that Silent Bob.
Oh, I'm blushing.
Pictures will be posted
it's
if they
almost
haven't been
perfect. It's perfect. The face, the head, the wig, the everything, it came out perfectly.
As you scare off a customer.
There's no customers here.
I'm not customary, so it's okay. Yeah, we'll talk about
the thing about live podcasting from shows is that you have to be quick on the pause button for when people come up and bomb on the table. Which I am becoming quite adept at, considering all the shows that we are doing more and more live. So, are you having a good time?
I am always having a good time when I am with you. Always.
Bullshit.
Oh,
sorry, allergy.
Dave knows that's not true.
Dave, come on, man. You gotta give me a little bit more credit than that. I wouldn't hang around if I wasn't having a good time.
Crystal doesn't listen to Dave Patterson's podcast.
Damn right I don't listen to your podcast.
He's glad because all he really talks about is his erotic fan fiction about you.
Yeah.
That's how he knows you don't listen. Because you haven't mentioned it before.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the lawsuits and the PTOs.
PPs.
What am I gonna get out of doing a podcaster other than potential equipment?
A taco?
Yeah.
I love tacos.
Yeah, but if I ask you for it, yeah, we all love tacos. That's it. I want a dozen tacos.
Especially
I want a
pink
mixed
tacos.
hard. I want a mixed hard and soft.
I had to miserably stare at amazing cupcakes all day. All because of Chrissy.
How's it going? Pretty good.
I don't know. More interruptions is what I'm saying.
Hey, I'm trying to pitch stuff here. I'm trying to help out Michelle.
Dave Patterson's trying to pimp it. Pimp out the cupcakes.
You want a nice, delicious cupcake?
Everybody else is packing down their booths, but we haven't gotten around to it yet because every time we start to talk, someone else comes to talk to us. But I want to say a huge, huge thank you to John Kalal for having us here. He's been very sweet, hasn't he?
Oh, John has been amazing.
He's been bringing us cold water all day and like just jumping through hoops for everybody, and he's done an amazing, amazing job. And it seems like a really successful show from what I can tell.
Yeah, from what he said, 750 came through the door on
yesterday, yeah, and he told me last time he was over 1,000 total so far, so
that's amazing.
And I say so far, but we're done now. But yeah, so I mean, for a first show, that's pretty damn good. I've been to plenty of shows that didn't get anywhere near that kind of attendance.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been an awesome show. I got to I didn't even know, because I pay zero attention, but I didn't even know that one of my sort of comic heroes was here, Arvel Jones, who did All-Star Squadron, among many, many other things, with Roy Thomas, which is like one of my favorite comic runs of all time. I got to meet him yesterday, and I bought a print from him that's absolutely beautiful, awesome. So, yes, I super enjoyed that. We've met so many great people and exchanged business cards and made sales for Michelle's GoFundMe, which, We did pretty well, I think. Like, much better than we did at Space, for sure.
Yeah.
As far as money-wise. So, I appreciate everyone who's taking the time to donate and stuff, and I'm sure Michelle appreciates it. But I'm kind of sad to see it be over. I've enjoyed my stay in Michigan. I'll definitely be back. I may be back sooner than I thought because John's doing another show in October. So I might come back for that one.
You got to do the Fantasticon.
What is this Fantasticon you speak of? I know not this.
Yes, you do. I put the poster right on your page. I said, we're doing this, bro.
Do it, brother.
Well, more than that, you got.
Then you should come down for the Cincy shows.
You got Tony Mel's Comic Book
maybe I will.
Expo coming in.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And then the Monroe Comic Con the following weekend in Monroe.
There's just so
Dave, you
many
better hand me one of
shows.
those chocolate cupcakes. I need to be fat. I am fat. I'm sorry.
Chrissy brought me this amazing ice cream sandwich that was mint chocolate chip, and I'm going to tell you what, I can hate mint chocolate chip, but I ate that thing like it was the antidote. It was so delicious, and so was she. Oh my god! I can just put her in my pocket and take her home with me. She's adorable. And then Kendra visited us as well, right? No, Stephanie. Stephanie visited us.
Stephanie
Yes, I didn't
Maynard
see
of Drunk
Kendra.
Dorks.
Sorry, Stephanie from Drunk Dorks, and she was awesome and beautiful, of course,
Oh, God.
with her little black dress and her epic tattoo. So, yeah, it has been a fun, awesome visiting time. I don't know, like, for me, I don't care if I sell anything at a show. Like, obviously in this one I do because it's for a good cause, but I don't care if I sell anything as long as I get to make some connections and meet new people or hang out with people that I enjoy being around.
And then there's Dave.
And then there's Dave. I always need to have a Dave within proximity of me. It's in my contract. I must always be accompanied by a Dave. So when my Dave can't be here, I have to have Dave Patterson stand in for me.
Well, I'm glad I can fill a hole.
Filling holes, pun definitely intended. But I also bought some comics too. What is the name of their comic company? Travis's company?
Source Point Press or
Source
Michigan
Point
Comic
Press,
Collection?
yes. I bought the Jack of Spades, I think is the name of it.
Yeah.
A couple issues of that. Actually, I bought like everything they had, pretty much, except for the graphic novels. I'm excited to read them.
One of their books was actually banned from Amazon.
Oh, wow,
It's a
really?
serial killer book. It's a very limited print run. All you can get is from them.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm supposed to be hooking up with the for the Jack of Spades on the Outhousers. And then, of course, I want to get with all of them in general at some point. All of the boys.
She's insatiable.
Listen, I can't help it that I love comic book men so much, okay?
I'm sorry, I may or may not be stoned right now.
And women.
I mean, I don't do that.
Mike and Ming.
It's just sitting next to JR all day. You can contact us.
I don't think that counts, man.
Hush, Patterson.
Yeah.
Don't tell the world I was high. I'm doing much better comparatively to last night, which I will tell the full story of that later on. But I will tell that in the second half of the show that I'm doing with my day when I get home.
Just picture a Fish concert, a Jimmy Buffett concert, and a Grateful Dead concert rolled into one.
No, I was born in the wrong era. I love the monkeys and I like to get high.
Because I got
I thought it's only appropriate if I'm in cosplay as Silent Bob and I'm stoned off my ass.
Exactly.
Because that is what Kevin's favorite thing in the world to do is.
Wake and bake.
Wake and bake. The only regret I have is that I didn't have more money to buy things with because there has been so much stuff. Although the basement baby is going to be super psyched when she gets back, or when I get back, because I'm bringing her home a Minecraft figure, which she'll go apeshit over, and some My Little Pony lip glosses that I got from the booth next door. and something else too. I can't remember.
The Source Point guys had a Mark McKenna and Steve Sherrar, My Little Pony and Deadpool combination print called My Little Deadpool. It's amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And it's limited run too.
Well, basically, what we're going to do, everything that's left over, and we still have a few things left. Actually, we sold out of a lot of stuff. There's a few prints left. There's a couple. There's one Arsenic Lullaby left. JR nicely donated an amazing Walking Dead sketch cover that is just absolutely beautiful. And what I can do is I can take pictures of everything that we have left and stick them up on the Facebook. And if anybody's interested, let me know. And then whatever is left over, I'll just take to the next live show that we do and keep collecting until we sell everything.
Like I said, I'll take one of each of the books out. Just fun.
Absolutely.
Go fund me.
Yeah.
Give me something new to read.
Yeah, please, if you haven't already done it, which I'm sure if you're listening to our show, you probably have, but please check out Michelle's GoFundMe. You can I'll share the link again on the Facebook, and you can also find it on her Facebook. But the actual link is GoFundMe.com/Z5ZCW4. So, I am absolutely exhausted and full of manly sweat. My boobs are sweaty. My man juice. That's not my man juice. I need to spend some more time teabagging Jared Bland's table before the end of the day. Now, you know what? I'm going to tell you, he's not paying attention now, so I'm going to say nice things about him while he's not paying attention. But I am really happy for him. He has passionately talked about his book to so many people this weekend, and many of those people have taken the book home with them, and that's awesome because Light Earth is a beautiful, beautiful book. And especially some of these variant covers, the Alec Garza cover is just so beautiful. And I'm definitely taking Vapor and Light Earth home with me. Earth! Sound like fucking Peter Brady. Time to change.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him that this was finally able to get out. He's been talking to me. I met JR back in December, and he's been talking to me the entire time throughout the whole process, sending me different bits of the script here and there, and then different images. And it's a beautiful story. I did an article with him on the Outhousers as well. I saw Dirk and Dan Doherty yesterday at the Signing at Comics and More, and I was talking to Dirk about it. JR always refers to Dirk as one of his mentors, and I was really happy to see that Dirk managed to swing by the show and come by and see JR before he went to the signing, so JR could give him a copy. And he was talking to me about it today, and he was really excited and just really lit up about it. I don't think you'd see anybody happier right now because he finally got out his book.
Casey, come say hi. We're recording. I can't let her walk by. We're recording audio.
You can't hear my creepiness?
Huh?
You couldn't hear my creepiness?
No, I can hear it. I can hear it good.
Loud and clear. Hi.
Casey, who is the author of Pieces of Madness, which I love and I've read multiple times. And she was nice enough to stop by and say hello. Did you have a good day?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. I know you've been selling out at almost all the shows, right?
Oh, no, that's a slight exaggeration. I sold well. I'm very blessed.
Now, I know I've talked about the book on the show before, and I haven't got a chance to have you on, but I'm starting an interview show, and I'd love to have you on.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Tell me where to wear it, man.
Awesome. Where can everybody pick up the book if they haven't got it yet?
You can get it from Amazon or RocketInkStudios.com.
Awesome. And give us your true thoughts on Dirk Manning's hair.
Is it Dirk Manning fair?
Hair.
Oh. I'm like, no, he doesn't need any more call praise. Oh, his hair?
Yeah, what do you think about the hair?
Oh, I mean...
Is it Aquanet or is it gel?
Oh, no, he wets it. It's a little bit of gel. I'm vouch for that because it does look plastic. Gel kind of gives
it does look.
sheen.
It looks like he has Lego Man hair. Like,
yeah,
put it on.
Yeah, I mean, the hair's perfect.
He's like a werewolf in London.
It is. He was nice
Yeah,
enough to. He stopped by and surprised the hell out of me yesterday morning before he went to his signing. I was setting up the table and not paying attention, and he reached across and was squeezing me.
That'd be him.
Because he's the greatest. Absolutely the greatest.
He's a very good man. He's been, good to all of us indie folk. He's been great to me, and
us too.
wonderful cat.
Absolutely.
Can't say enough about him.
I can say he can't say enough about him either.
I know, but he did write the foreword for Pieces of Madness, and I'm very blessed. So, thank you, Dirk.
When you read the book, you have to read His Majesty multiple times because it's the best story. It is the best. Thank you for stopping.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I appreciate
You're
it.
very welcome,
Thank
sir.
you for the print.
Oh, you're very welcome. All right, bye.
Bye.
Guys, I'm sure
Well, I wish we had more time to record, but it's been a long day, and we got to pack up so we can get that out of here. And I can go home and frolic in my cold house. It's freezing, and my basement is there to comfort me. And the Hulk will lord his genitals over me.
Along with the Hulk.
He has the biggest penis in the basement. Sadly. Except for when Dave's there. Good God. He's a beast. He swings the mighty hammer of Thor. Now, but I want to say thanks to Dave Patterson for helping us out for 2 days in a row. You have been the booth ninja.
Yes, thank you, Dave.
Yes, you are the absolute greatest. And for Crystal for coming and harassing me heavily and being my J for the day.
I'm just glad I finally got to meet you in person.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd find a J filthier than the Axel Muse. But this is her. And I would have JR come over and say hello, but he's shellacking with his customers right now. And I can't blame him.
Shellacking his hair.
He's shellacking his hair, Dirk Manning style. I'll be back with the second half of the show, or the second 43/5 of the show, later on tonight with Dave in the Basement of Doom. And we're back with part 2 of the post-Taylortown show. As you can hear by the lack of belligerent background noise, I'm no longer live from Taylor, Michigan. I am at home in the loving embrace of the Basement of Doom, and joined by the real Dave. Welcome home, buddy.
What's up, bitches? It's the real one, not the imitators.
You, Dave Patterson, how could you do it?
That's all right.
No. Dave was a damn godsend. I'll tell you, he really took care of helping us out for the 2 days. Like, he was the utility man for the booth for sure, for our booth and for JR's booth. That was a hell of a thing. It was great to get to be able to meet him in person. After talking to him online, it's always cool to make friends on on Facebook and stuff, and actually get to meet them in person. They turn out to be really cool people.
Yeah, that's cool.
You were missed, of course.
Sure.
But you didn't miss no Michigan.
Fuck no. I've been there before. I'm okay on that.
There's no Michigander.
No. Got too much self-respect for that.
And it's funny, because when you say that, people are like, oh, because you're a Buckeyes fan? No, I'm the least furthest
I'm from the West Coast. I don't like either of them.
Fan.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck about the Buckeyes, and I think your rivalry's idiotic.
Yeah. I don't give no shit. I just don't like those states. Your town's a ghetto and broke down to shit. And then Ohio, they're all a bunch of racist.
And yet you'll go to Indy, which is exactly like that.
No, I'll go to the outskirts of camping. I won't hang out in Indianapolis.
Oh God, no.
It's just bad.
No, I tell you, it couldn't have been a nicer place that I was in though. Like, it was very Taylor was a nice little town.
Yeah,
for sure. There was a lot of car dealerships, which I guess shouldn't be shocking considering.
Shocking.
But I mean, a lot of those factories probably don't run anymore though. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there was a shit ton of car dealerships there. But it was a fun experience. It was a different experience for me to get to go, to something that's a little further away on my own. And we did pretty good job raising money for this time. I think in Space we ended up only doing about $80, mm-hmm. But this time we did $130, which is a marked improvement. I don't know. Like I said, it was a good show. Did you have a good weekend alone by yourself?
Yeah.
As opposed to alone with others.
And a fun time.
You know who didn't have a good weekend? The people that made the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, they're a little butthurt, a little sore in the behind area.
Yeah, considering that 75% drop from week 1 to week 2.
Good God.
I'm actually surprised it wasn't more than that, considering the word of mouth. It's absolutely fucking horrible.
Yeah, I think it was kind of one of those things people actually just had to go see it to like see how bad it was type thing. Like, you know. Like, okay, it's really that bad, I gotta go check it out. And then they see it and they're like, holy shit, it really is that bad.
I know there are some people who do take that as a challenge. Like, oh, this movie's so terrible. All right, then. Challenge accepted, motherfucker.
Game on. But, yeah. As I say, it's progressively dropping, you know, really quick.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think, what was the...
Well, it was 26 the first week, and then 8 this week.
Yeah, $8 million. So, like, that's what you hope for opening night. Like...
Let alone for a week.
Yeah. Like, good God, man.
Well, I mean, you know, it just goes to prove that you really do need to make a better product.
Yeah.
That, you know, actually pertains to your subject matter.
That's true. It's so funny, though, because it's like all the stuff that's coming out about, like, you know, what happened on set and all kinds of stuff about, like, you know, supposedly the studio, supposedly the director, all kinds of shit, like, you know, the studio's messing with him or him being a weird asshole on set and shit like that. It's all kinds of weird stuff, but it's funny because it's like a complete implosion, you know, which I can't say I'm surprised, but it's just one of those things where it was like, you know, X-Men was going so well, and then this was literally just like somebody blew the tires out on Fox and was like, sorry, here you go. So much to the point that they canceled the sequel, and I'm pretty sure they're giving it to Deadpool.
Which will most likely do much better money.
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely.
Well, I think it's safe to say that, like, at this point, with, you know, Marvel Studios handling, you know, 99% of their properties, and with, you know, Warner Brothers directly doing all the DC properties, that the days of independently produced, you know, from different companies other than the comic companies, movies are starting to wane out, you know.
It's because it's like, and before we started getting all these really good, like, movies. And I'm not saying, like, Marvel always did the best and stuff, as far as, like, a lot of early Marvel stuff sucked really bad. Like, before, you know, like, Iron Man and all that stuff. Some of that shit was good. Some of it was not good at all. But it is one of those things where it was, like, you could never get a consistency because it was whatever studio wanted to buy, you know, wanted to lease the properties from you. And once that happened, once those properties were, you know, sold, you know, you had no control on what they were going for. It was, you know, whatever ideas they had, that's what you got. So I think a lot of these studios now are realizing to get the best for the fans, they have to, like, do it themselves. They had to build up studios or build a relationship with a really strong studio that understands what they're trying to do, and are basically trying to reclaim all their stuff, and kibosh, you know, all these other studios trying to make money. So, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just really... I don't trust these outside studios anymore to do the products, because they really, I mean, like, Marvel is, you know, has ownership of it and therefore cares about it enough to do it the way it should be done.
Yeah. Like, they, you know, they're the writers. They'll bring in the people that, you know, are doing the comic books and, you know, get their opinion on stuff, and it turns out a better product.
I just feel that, like, from start to finish, that this movie was a comedy of errors, because, like, every choice, as far as everything they made, every choice that they made seemed to be, like, the worst choice you could make. Like, let's hire a director who's directed one movie that was a found footage style movie that really had no budget and, no real effects work. I mean, like, some level of effects work, but nothing like this. And let's hire this guy to do...
It actually had a really...
Not anywhere compared to what a big budget superhero movie has.
I wouldn't say like that, but I mean, it had a lot of effects in it.
Right,
stuff,
but you're talking about going from doing this, like, found footage, shaky cam horse shit, and this being the only movie that he's ever directed, to trying to direct a big budget superhero movie for a major studio. This is not, there's no experience level. You have to be able to handle... that kind of a size of production in order to do that. And everybody, of course, has to start somewhere, but this is just not the way to break your cherry as far as doing a big production. Like, Marvel is even smart about that. They go out and get a director with a lot of experience that they know that can handle,
That's proven more than just once to do stuff. Yeah.
And, of course, casting was an absolute joke. Like... And it's not even what you would think. Like, I like Michael B. Jordan a lot as an actor, and I had no problem with his casting, but I feel like every other person that I saw was either miscast or, by the end of it, not even used.
Yeah.
Of course, Miles Teller I hate with a flaming passion of 1,000 hells, and his acting ability is minuscule and suspect, to say the least. Kate Mara I've never been impressed with in any way. I would say that if anything, she's a passable actress.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any qualities that I would see as a Sue Storm at all. No. Jamie, was it Jamie Bell? Is that his name? Yeah, Jamie Bell. I know nothing about really personally. I've seen a little bit of him. Yeah.
He
from what I understand, though, he was a non-entity in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he barely did anything in the part where it was him, and then by the time, the bulk of it, when he's been as the Thing, he really does nothing at all.
Yeah.
So, it's like, what are you doing here? And then the Doom, Doom was the perfect word, because it was doomed from the start, with changing him so completely that he doesn't even resemble the character that it's based on in any way. Having him be this, social outcast, anarchist sort of blogger, person, and then changing that around in the reshoots, and then renaming him in the reshoots,
naming him back.
No, that's what I mean. They renamed him, and then, they had to rename him again because people were so pissed off that he wasn't Victor Von Doom. And I'm like, you know why he's not Victor Von Doom? Because he's not Victor Von Doom. Like, he's not anywhere close.
Yeah.
He's some fucking hipster that's writing an angry blog because Reed Richards loves his woman or some bullshit like that. Like,
I don't know.
Everything that, has come out as far as details, I'm just like, why would you... I don't even know why you would think this would work, let alone why you would make this decision in the first place.
Yeah.
But I think this is the last time I'm even going to talk about it. It's just like... It was.
Why are we talking about it again?
Just because it was there. I mean, it boggles the mind, but thankfully it's over. It's bombed miserably as it should have, and this will effectively kill any chance of it becoming a franchise.
Yeah,
which I have no problem with whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, if it was good, I probably would have been like, oh, that sucks and stuff, or if they had like a legit shot at it, that sucks. But it sounds like it was pretty much never a good idea, so oh well. But I know that Disney just had their big, their D23, whatever it is, their big panel thing where they talked about a lot of things, whether it went from Star Wars to Marvel. They showcased a lot of stuff. Marvel fans got to see some video stuff from Civil War. They got to talk and hear about more stuff from this Strange movie, which from what some of the things are saying, Doctor Strange is going to be a very interesting like Inception type kind of movie, as far as very like a mix between like horror and Inception, very mind
I never saw
fuckery
Inception.
and stuff. Yeah, I never saw it, but it was supposed to be one of those like crazy visually and mentally. So, but a lot of people seemed really excited about what they saw, especially the Civil War stuff. And people were going pretty nuts about that. They talked a lot about Star Wars. They showcased the cast for the upcoming spin-off like movie, Rogue Squadron, or Rogue. I think was it Rogue Squadron? No, I think it's Rogue One or something like that. But it's supposed to be set before New Hope. It's supposed to be about the group that ends up like going after the plans for the Death Star. Which I thought the casting was pretty good. I know they've got Alan Tudyk in it, Donnie Yen. I forget who else. There's a couple other ones. It should make for an interesting cast. The thing that I find interesting is with the fact that they casted Donnie Yen, because he was supposed to be cast as a Jedi that it meets up with like Han Solo's character in the second, Star Wars movie following this one. So it might be a younger version of him in that one. I don't know. Have to kind of see. There was talks about Star Wars stuff at either its own theme park or in the Disney theme parks, which would be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably a silly thought, but, is there enough fan interest in a separate Star Wars park, do you think?
Oh, God, yes.
It's hard for me to grasp because I couldn't give less of a fuck about something like that.
Oh, I mean...
Yeah.
You're a trekker, so...
Yeah, I am.
I mean, that would be like you asking me about, like, or me asking you, like, you think there'd be enough desire for a Star Trek?
No.
No?
They've done it.
Yeah.
Like, they had... Vegas had the Star Trek experience, and it ran for a few years, and it was moderately successful.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty, epic thing from what I understand, but, like, it takes a lot to make a viable theme park.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said I think they're adding it to Disney parks. I don't think it's going to be its own. I think it's going to be something where it's like a section of... Like
that Harry Potter park that they did.
Yeah.
It's popular, but I don't know, as far as, from what I understand, it hasn't made near the projections that they assumed it would.
Yeah.
Especially without the ongoing support of there being more movies.
Yeah, I think time-wise they should have done that earlier on, but... I think they're being smart about that with this one. At least if they attach it to Disney, parks that are already, up, then I mean, plus with the bringing more movies out and everything, games and everything, it's still very popular right now. So, kids getting to run around and ride all kinds of Star Wars rides. And
this Rogue movie, this is based like a completely original script, or is it based on anything that is already canon?
From what I understand, I think it's based it will be canon once it's made, but I think it's its own thing. I don't think it's based off any stories. Yeah. So it should be interesting. Because, like I said, Donnie Yen was supposed to be cast as a Jedi, so unless he's a Jedi with them in that, it's supposed to be...
Is it something that you have a high level of interest in? Being a Star Wars fan?
I would like to see it, yeah, because it's basically a little bit more about the people on the ground, while all this stuff's going on, than it is so much about, the other epic level stuff, like with Luke and... all of what happened with, Obi-Wan and all of those characters. These are a little bit, like, not necessarily as big name characters that are trying to do, a big thing. So
that's the other thing. It's like, without those big sort of anchor characters, the more well-known established characters, is that interest level still high with the casual Star Wars fan?
I mean, based off the cast, yeah. Because they picked a strong cast of actors that have a lot of fan base. Alan Tudyk has a really good fan base.
Right.
Donnie Yen has a really good fan base. I know a couple of the other actors have really good fan bases too. So, I mean, I feel like it is one of those things where it's like those fan bases combined with what it is, will keep it pretty much strong.
Could.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course, time will tell. I assume once a trailer hits, if it looks impressive, then they'll seal the fate on that.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see them branch out in that way and do something that isn't a remake or a continuation or something like that. That it is slightly more on the original angle.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that they're doing that.
Yeah. Should be interesting. There was rumors that the Han Solo movie is supposed to possibly going to be a young Han Solo story about like Han when he was younger and like I guess how he meets Chewie and how all that stuff goes down to kind of give you more, because that stuff's always kind of been like people have wondered how that all went down. So
it's gonna be a heartwarming tale about a boy and his Wookiee.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, Wookiee. That one should be interesting. But then I know there was also talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. One of the worlds that was confirmed for Kingdom Hearts 3 is actually the Big Hero 6 world, where you actually, I guess, have to fight an evil version of Baymax.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
I'm behind because I still haven't seen that one yet.
What?
The Big Hero 6, yeah.
I watched it. I liked it. I thought it was really good.
A lot of people don't know that it's a Marvel property as well.
Yep.
It just wasn't promoted that way because they were kind of afraid that it would be a bait and switch sort of situation.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those where they wanted it to see if it could stand on its own without having to have the Marvel
definitely did.
backing, and yeah, it definitely did. What else? Oh, there was a lot of like Pixar poster reveals for like Incredibles 2, the dinosaurs,
right.
Dory, a bunch of other.
I have to say,
stuff.
I watched a trailer for that dinosaur movie and I thought it looked terrible.
This one is going to be interesting because I would say a certain way down the movie line, they recasted the entire cast.
Oh, really?
Like, they had a cast all picked out. They had already started doing voice work and stuff. And then something, I had read about it, like, months ago. They recasted, like, revoice casted everyone. And, like, either maybe changed the direction of the movie.
Right.
Or something happened, but it was like at midway or quarter of the way, something where there was a drastic change. I think they maybe only kept one of the original voice actor peoples, and like it's not like these were just straight voice actors. Like these were actually good name actors that were doing things that they basically like cut them and got other actors.
When I saw the trailer for it, I just thought like this does not look like a Pixar movie. It looks like one of those sort of straight to video kind of kids movies that I see at Walmart on the rack.
Yeah, because
like,
the dinosaurs are really like
so
too cartoony,
goofishly cartoony,
way goofishly cartoony. But I guess that's.
I feel like the thing is with the studios like Pixar and like with the Marvel Studios, with how many successes that they've had with the Marvel movies, it's like you're eventually going to have one that stinks, and so you're basically just working up to it.
Yeah.
Like nobody hits a perfect score, all the time.
I guess right now, so far, their weak link one might be Ant-Man. Like, it's good. People really liked it, but I don't think money-wise it did what the rest of them have done. It's done really good, but I mean, it's not, been, like that breakout hit like Guardians and stuff. What else? Iron Man 2 was really not good. Really not good. So,
I hated Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
To the point where I never watched the third one.
Yeah.
But it still made money. Yeah. That's the thing. I'm talking more about like something that is so off the mark that it isn't successful.
I kind of see that's going to be really hard for Marvel. Because they seem to have been pretty good so far as like feeling out the fans as far as like what they want to see and who they want to be these actors, or at least the ones they get surprise people enough that they're very like hopeful about it. I mean, we'll see what it is. I don't know. There's a Inhumans is a big risk. I love Inhumans, but that they're having to do a lot of building blocks with that one with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and other stuff. So I mean, we'll see how that one goes. I'm trying to think what are some of the other ones. I personally have no fucking interest in the Black Panther movie.
No,
it's never been a character I cared for.
Mm-hmm.
It was just never one of those characters. But we'll see how that movie goes. That could be a really big one, or it could be a flopper.
Yeah.
Trying to think what other ones they have that are supposed to be coming out. I mean, I don't know. They've got enough out that they do have a possibility for, one of them at least to stink bomb. But, I mean...
If I had to make a guess, I just don't see this dinosaur movie clicking.
Oh, I mean, it'll make money because it's a Pixar movie, and it's like you can drag your kids to it and stuff like that. So it'll make money. I don't think it'll maybe be one of their best ones that's ever made money. Because, see, like, I know people, like adults, that are like, yeah, Incredibles 2, I'll be in line for that.
Yeah,
like, I'll be kicking little kids out of the way to be in line for that. But, and I know other people that are all, like, super excited that Finding Nemo got a sequel, the Dory sequel thing. But, that's...
I wouldn't say I'm excited about it or anything like that.
But I mean, it's like...
I understand, but, like, it just wouldn't be anything that I'd be like, oh, I must watch this immediately.
Yeah. But I mean, there are people that, love the first ones enough that they're, like, super excited about it.
Right.
The dinosaur one, though, I feel like it had a shaky start, and I don't know if it'll stand tall with the rest of them, but it will make money just purely because, I mean, look at the Minions movie.
Yeah.
That right there says that you can make money with, like, nothing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and the Minions movie, from what I understand, is very blech.
Yeah.
Very
not so much.
Yeah, which, I mean, like, it doesn't surprise me because to me it's just a concept that, like, stretching it out over a full movie length time is stretching it too thin.
Yeah, it's like they're a group of secondary characters. They're funny, they're hilarious and stuff like that, but it's like to base a story around them, that'd be like making a movie based off the aliens from the Toy Story thing. Like...
Claw Machine Aliens.
Yeah, Claw Machine Aliens, like... That's how it is. They're funny. They add to the movie and stuff like that. But to try and base a whole movie around it would be kind of...
Well, I mean, DreamWorks went through this with the Penguins movie that they did. Like, the Penguins TV show is successful. And, they're funny secondary characters in the Madagascar movies. But ultimately, when they did the separate Penguins movie, it really wasn't all that successful. And that's an entertaining property.
Yeah. I think that's just purely because it's like, I think that's a time constraint thing. I think
too long.
Yeah, I think that, and I think the Penguins are only funny for so long. Like, it's one of those, they work better when they pop in, do some stuff, pop out. To do a whole, like, hour and a half, 2 hour movie on them is like, okay, the joke's running thin now.
No, that's I mean, that follows a pattern, like a Hollywood pattern in general of, like, spinning things off with minor characters and it being like, why would you bother? Like, who gives a shit about this person? Like,
you're like, what?
I mean, like, it's happened with many shows, TV shows especially, where they spin off, this character. That I remember specifically, like, of course, this was before our time as far as when we were around, but they spun off Three's Company with the Ropers. Because, what the public had to have been clamoring for is the private lives of the Ropers.
They spun off Friends to the fucking Joey show. And it's like, I like Joey as a character, don't get me wrong, but he only works in conjunction with Matthew Perry's character. That's the dynamic. They need each other. Their characters play off of each other. For him just to be there, it's like it doesn't work. So
I mean, it reminds me of Futurama when the aliens from Omicron Persei 8 are watching Friends on TV. And it's like, I do not understand why Joey, the largest friend, does not simply consume the other ones.
This is true.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like TV has just a long history of this spin-off thing. It was like the Ropers thing with Three's Company and like all these fucking shows that I remember they tried to spin MASH off a couple times after it ended.
Yeah.
And, I mean, just crazy.
And MASH was an awesome show. I loved MASH.
Happy Days actually had successful spin-offs like Laverne and Shirley, but then they also had Joni Loves Chachi, which is
universally regarded as one of the worst television shows of all time.
But it's also universally remembered no matter what.
Remembered for its epic failure.
Oh, yeah, but it's one of those you'll never forget it.
Yeah.
You know, you'll always be remembering Joni Loves Chachi. It's bad, but, you know.
Speaking of remakes and things of that, and like spin-off, I heard a story that they were talking about redoing the Problem Child movies.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Because that's really something that needs to happen.
I
feel like those movies were a stain on our childhood. Like, I hated that little redheaded bastard.
Yeah, I was like,
movie.
yeah, that was the thing. I was like, my penchant for bratty kids was like, I wanted somebody to just raffle stomp the shit out of this
Why
kid.
isn't John Ritter simply beating that child?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, you know who I thought, you know, they were all like, oh, the stepmom was the bad guy. You know who the bad guy was? John Ritter. John Ritter was the bad guy in those movies. You know why? Shitty parenting.
Shitty parenting.
You know why? Because he's like, he just needs some love. No, he needs a size 10.5 boot in his ass.
It's a severe ass
like whooping. Like, make
I'm a problem child.
Not now.
Shut
You're
the
not. Fuck up. Now you a busted lip child.
Why?
Whack. Yeah, that's why.
Send your ass back to Gilbert Godfrey and go change the fuck up.
It's one thing being a little pain in the ass. It's another thing causing property damage that I have to deal with.
Trying to commit murder and shit.
Yeah,
like,
screw
problem
that
child.
shit.
How about psychotic child with severe development and emotional issues?
Sadistic tendencies.
Sadistic
and stuff
psychotic
like that.
child. That kid is an episode of Criminal Minds. It's not a comedy.
Yeah,
Like-
that's what I'm saying. Like, that was a prequel to Criminal Minds. The unsub was this small little bastard redheaded child.
Criminal Minds, problem child.
Yeah. That's something that definitely doesn't need remade. The fact that they're redoing it, and yeah, I know. I'm like, woo! Hey, next, can we get a remake of Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Because I feel that needs a remake. You
Yeah,
know?
why don't you just go ahead and remake Waterworld, because you know it worked so well the first time.
Oh God. I can't allow them to remake Waterworld ever. It's so awesomely horrible in its original incarnation. And besides, who are you gonna get to make that famous fucking speech about dry land other than fucking what's his face?
Yes.
Dry land is not a myth.
Land is a myth.
Like, no self-respecting actor is gonna do that speech.
Every time I can't find something when we're going somewhere, my go-to thing to say is always like, it's a myth like dry land. I can't fucking find this place.
Like, I can't do it. Yeah. No,
I actually had that
yeah.
problem this weekend when, like, after the first day of the Taylortown show, I needed to go check into my motel, and I had printed out directions because I didn't have a GPS. My phone has a GPS program, but it's like, with the amount of reception that I was not able to get on the way out there, you know, in those back roads and stuff, I was kind of like wary about using it, so I just used the printout directions. And, you know, about 3/4 of the way there, it seemed to be fine, and then it was like, you need to turn on Columbiana Street or some, you know, I don't exactly remember what the fuck it was. And I'm telling you, this street did not exist.
Yeah. Oh, was it like calling on the cop when it was like, turn right here? And you're like, what? Off the overpass?
Yeah. If I turn right here, we die.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This isn't the scene from Terminator 2 where I drive the semi-truck off the damn
I mean, these
overpass.
directions were so bad, I was wishing for the racist GPS lady, like, that we had in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Like, I can't fucking, it was just, and then I just kept driving and be like, okay, something about this is not right. Like, it's a lot longer than it's saying here. And so, like, I fucking picked up my phone and I dialed in the address to the motel and turned on the GPS feature of the phone.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, it was like, turn here and like make a fucking U-turn essentially, but not even a U-turn like, oh, you just spin around on the street. Now, like, you know, turn right, go 10 miles down, make a right again, get on this route, go up 4 exits because that's like how far past it you are.
Jesus.
Because of this fucking bullshit directions.
Yeah.
You could possibly blame it on the fact that I may have been a little blitzed, but like,
I may have been inebriated.
No, I would not drink and drive for money, but like, yeah, I may have been under the influence of some sort of herb, not oregano, but paprika. So yes, it was a enormous fucking fuckaroo debacle, yes, but I did end up finding it, and actually I loved the place that I stayed in. Like almost every time without fail when we book a room to go to a convention, it ends up being some level of fail, depending on what it is. But like this is the first time I've ever booked a room where I had zero problems with the hotel or the room. Like, and I prepaid through Hotels.com on PayPal and everything, and you know how they always give the hassle about the credit card and shit. Like I took the bank card with me just in case. Yeah, and they did ask for it, but they didn't give a shit that it wasn't, you know, because not Dave's name is what's on the bank card because I don't do credit cards and shit. And like that always is a bone of contention with these motherfuckers. I'm like, I don't understand what your deal is. I already paid for the room. Like, this is the thing. They're like, well, we have to have it for in case you have damages. Okay, well, you have my PayPal information. How is it you couldn't just charge that?
Because I think it has to have money available type thing.
I had money available.
But the thing is, like, they don't know that. Like, they just know what you charge. So you could be like, oh, yeah, I got money on there. And then they're like, no, you don't. And then they're kind of screwed out of it.
I mean, like, what do you do if you show up there fucking, you know, off the street and want to get a room with cash? Do you still have to have a credit card then? Like, that isn't fucking, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're just a person like me who doesn't believe in having credit cards, it's just not my thing, then you're just fucked.
Yeah,
like, you can't, I know for sure you can't rent a car because I've been there. Can't rent a car, or you apparently can't get a fucking hotel room. It's like, no, you must be a slave to the goddamn credit system, or you can't get anything.
You have to have something that you can be basically held responsible, like, monetarily, and that's the thing with credit cards. They can go after you and do that. But it is one of those things where you're like, fuck, come on. That's why I think, like, when they started doing that stuff at Walmart where they had, like, the prepaid credit cards where you go put money on it and stuff like that, you know, those suffice enough, basically, so... Or at least they trick the dumb cashier people.
I feel like if it's a requirement that you must have a credit card in order to do this, then you should not be accepting other forms of payment then, because technically you really aren't. You're just be like, oh, you can pay with that, but you're still beholden to the fact that we want a credit card from you. Yeah. And we still have to run your credit card and get, you know, slided through our system and shit. Even if you're not paying with it, you still get it has to be slid through the fucking thing. And I'm like, this is fucking shenanigans.
Yeah. I'd have been like, no.
Why don't you just say, we don't take anything other than a credit card? Yeah. So, but I knew, ultimately the room was fantastic. Like, it was these sort of efficiency suites kind of a thing. And it was like, you know, one kind of,
a few of those
it's
before,
like one studio kind of room.
Those are the best ones.
Great TV, great air conditioner. It had you know, if you needed it, a fridge and a stove, all that shit, you know. It had a shower chair, not a chair, but like a built-in seat
like the
in the shower. Like, didn't have a bathtub, had like a built-in shower seat thing, and I enjoyed the hell out of that because I was so fucking dead tired.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm gonna sit down and shower.
Yeah, standing up could be not
going to tell you, dude,
towards
the air conditioning was not working in the building. This was one of the few downsides to this show. The air conditioning was not working in the building, and it was belligerently hot.
Oh, in the actual show?
Yeah, it wasn't as hot as you would think, but it was pretty fucking hot.
Pretty hot, yeah.
And I got back to the motel, and J.R. Blanton, you know, came back with me, and we hung out for a while, and, you know, chit-chatted and all that shit or whatever. And then he left. Yeah, I had some snacks. Then he left, and I went to take a shower, and I took a shower, and then got dressed, went back, sat down for a minute, and I was like, no, I'm not clean enough. Like, I sweat so much that day.
It's like I have such a thick film of it.
That I stripped right back down and took another fucking shower. And like, blisteringly hot until, like, I couldn't take it.
Like, all right, you know.
Because it was just too fucking much. Like, I just got too damn dirty. Like, but no, I had an absolute blast doing it. And this is no secret because I've already talked about it all over the place or whatever, but I did get a little high. And we don't shy away from topics like this, obviously. I mean, we talk about getting drunk, we talk about all that stuff. And yeah, I am a proponent of the happy green stuff.
Hey, happy funky joy week.
It's not something I do on a regular basis. I did when I was younger, but it's, you know, I feel in all things in moderation, you know. But, like, yeah, I did get belligerent.
When I was younger, there was no such thing as moderation. Moderation was, I'm so high I can't even think about moving. Dead.
So I like, they're like, oh, well, that's why you got lost. I'm like, no, I'm telling you the street didn't exist, because it was not only me, because JR was following me, and he was like, that street didn't exist. Like, the street you named is not there.
Yeah.
But, like, he was like, he's like, I'm following you, and we just kept going. I thought, man, are we ever going to get there? And I'm like, yeah, and meanwhile, up ahead, I'm looking for this street, and I'm making up a song about how belligerently smashed I am.
Yeah, I already made up a song, and it was by Shaggy, and it's because I got high.
And so, by the end of that night, after I had taken my multiple showers, I was extremely, extremely in the green, as it were. And I was like, sitting there at 10 o'clock at night thinking, God, I'm really hungry, and man, I don't want to go anywhere. Because
Shit, where's that thing where they just deliver all the food I could ever want?
I am not confident of my ability to make it back to the hotel if I leave here. So I did stumble fuck out of my motel room and made it to the van and everything. And I thought, okay, there's a McDonald's next door. And when I say next door, I mean literally next door.
Yeah.
Like the parking lots, if they would have done this, could have just connected to each other. It was that next door. It was like you pull out of the hotel.
Like, had it been earlier than like 11, you probably could have just walked over
I would
there.
have just walked over.
Like,
I wasn't about to walk anywhere in Michigan late at night. But yeah, there was like, here's motel driveway, one driveway, and then McDonald's driveway. So I thought, I'll be safe. So I drove to McDonald's. I got there fine, obviously, and then I ordered a long, rambling stoner order, including several.
Is that all, sir? No. Yeah, I've done that shit
several
before.
cheeseburgers of different variety, and fries, and nuggets, and an ice cream cone, because I saw it existed. Like, fucking. And I'm like, all right, I'm going back. And somehow I overshot the motel driveway by about a quarter of a mile.
That's awesome. That's what I find hilarious. 2 driveways down, McDonald's. 17 driveways down. Shit! I missed it.
Really, really enraptured by the ice cream cone.
You really had to go back to get a McDonald's.
Although I was pretty pissed that they didn't have a strawberry sundae. Like, I was like, I want a strawberry sundae. And they're like, we only have chocolate and caramel. I'm like, what are you, communist? Where's my goddamn strawberry sundae? How are you going to have these but not have that? It just seems like you would have that, too. They had them before.
Yeah,
I got strawberry sundaes all through being a kid when I was going to McDonald's.
They don't really carry strawberry at most places anymore
Bullshit.
these days. It's just not a flavor that goes over. All hipsters want caramel now.
I did successfully make it back and tear into my belligerent amounts of food. And
more food.
Proceed to sleep as hard as I possibly could, considering how fucking tired I was from the extremely boring 3.5 hour drive down there that was mostly bumfuck Egypt in the pitch black dark with no lights anywhere because I left at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
But it was not an eventful drive. Like, I left here and went like 33 to 68 to 75, and 33 is a barren stretch.
Yeah.
68 is an even more barren stretch.
Like,
Not only is it barren, but it's like
fields.
65, 55, 50, 35 for a while, 40, back down to 35, 25. Like,
it's so scatterbrained. Like,
it's, oh, God. But you know what? I can tell you, it was absolutely worth the trip because it was a fucking fantastic show, and I got to meet so many cool people and shit. Like, I know I said it before in the videos and stuff, but, like, I have rarely done a show where the promoter of the show was as, like, on the ball as John Colell was. Like, he, was walking around giving everybody water, and making sure that we didn't dehydrate from the terrified.
And that's awesome, though. That's
yeah,
awesome,
no,
man.
and, like, the chairs that they had, this was funny. The chairs that they had were those kind of plastic fold-up chairs.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, John, is there any way I can get, like, a metal folding chair? Because if I sit on this, it's going to explode.
This motherfucker's going to shatter into fucking stars.
My ass is going to come in like a wrecking ball on this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And, like,
I'm trying to save you a chair.
When I asked him the question, I was standing in another booth, and then by the time, like, 30 seconds later, I walked back to my booth, there was already a steel chair there waiting for me, and I was like, I love this guy.
You're like, goddamn, old man.
I watched him, like, crawl under tables just to get behind booths to help people and stuff, and John is not a young man. Like, And he also had one of the most awesome shirts I've ever seen, which was a Superman bowling shirt, which is so fucking cool. I was like, where did you get this? And he was like, a yard sale like 20 years ago. And I'm like, I want that so much.
Go online for it. I'm sure you could probably find some.
I've seen like Superman like a cigar shirt type, you know, those shirts. Yeah, I love those. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he couldn't have been cooler. And like to get to fucking meet all the great people and stuff, and hang out with Crystal and Dave Patterson and JR, to get to spend
all those great vaginas,
you know, just get to spend the whole day hanging out next to JR and getting to see him sell, you know, this 30-year dream to people,
and then watch him crawl under your table and like
try to reverse
birth up your crotch region. Oh god, little bald head. What's
Those of you who saw the vlog video that I made, I posted today. The end of that, JR thought the camera was still rolling, and snuck and crawled through the underside of my table, right up between my legs, scared the crap out of me. He damn near got punched in the head because he basically head-butted my crotch coming up through there. And I was like, what in the name of God are you doing? And it was he was getting a little up too close and personal for me. But no, I mean, like, you've rarely seen something in a booth till you've seen a guy sell a book that he's been, you know, formulating in his mind for 30 years. It's pretty damn good. Like, every question you could possibly have, he has an answer to. You know, he knows this world as if it is a real place, and that's pretty damn impressive.
Fair enough.
And he had a lot of takers too. I mean,
like,
quite a few, especially for your first convention. I was absolutely impressed by it.
Yeah.
And you know, there was a lot of people who showed us generosity, and Chrissy L was sweet enough to bring us out these epic cupcakes that I cannot even describe the epicness of. I mean, come on, a pancake cupcake with maple bacon frosting.
Well, from what I hear, though, there were some people that weren't so happy about these cupcakes.
Nah, God bless it. Like, there is a cake pop booth, like, or not even cake pops. They were cake balls, essentially, like little balls of cake with frosting, and so it was kind of a very niche thing. And they were doing them like donut holes, essentially, like buying by every, you know,
like shoving a stick up a donut hole's ass.
But you know, the first day they were very friendly with us, and the second day I think they got a little butthurt about the fact that we had cupcakes.
Yeah.
And the fact that people were paying a bit more attention to the cupcakes.
We're no longer friends, you assholes.
But hey, you know what? Comparatively, I would rather have the cupcake because, my God. And then Chrissy was nice enough also. She makes homemade ice cream, which, man, who? If this woman doesn't have a husband, I want to marry her 3 times. Like, she seriously, not Dave, you can't hear me right now, but she seriously makes her own ice cream. And she brought me a homemade ice cream sandwich with like 2 double chocolate cookies and mint chocolate chip ice cream, which I hate mint chocolate chip ice cream. You could attest to this. And it was the best damn ice cream I've ever tasted in my life.
I'm glad I wasn't there because I would have felt bad turning her down for all her sweets.
No,
like, we want some
you're
of this.
not a sweets person, though.
Yeah, that's why I'd have been like,
yeah,
I'm good. Thanks.
But nah, I don't think she would have cared at all. But then she was also so damn adorable, I wanted to pick her up and put her in my pocket and take her home with me.
Like, come on, get in there.
Her son did entertain the hell out of me because he was very aggressively he was very aggressively selling those cupcakes, and damn good on him for doing so. So that was,
hey, you what? Want to buy some cupcakes? Buy no cupcakes.
All right, buy a cupcake right now. All right. He did sell quite a few while he was standing there.
I mean, sometimes the consumer doesn't know what it wants until you tell it.
Hey, you know what? A lot of times it's hard to say no to a kid when they're selling you something.
Especially if they're coming at you angry, man. Like, they're like, they come at you with some aggression. You're like, all right, kid.
Oh, okay, God, let me get my money.
Because I know by the time your mother gets here, you'll still be kicking me in the groin and punching me and shit. Here, just take the $2 and give me a damn cupcake. Bastards.
I got to finally meet Casey Pierce in person, and being such a huge fan of her book, I did fanboy out a little bit, which is embarrassing on my part. But I don't know. I do that a little bit more with authors in a way that I do with like comic writers and artists and stuff, because like I am such a literary geek, you know, in ways.
I kind of wish I was there for
especially
that,
because it's horror too.
Yeah.
You know, no, she was absolutely.
I wish I was there for that because I would have like called him out on that. I'd be like, "Hey, what's wrong?"
Oh, I'm sure she noticed.
Yeah.
It was.
What's wrong, buddy? You seem a little tongue tied.
I'm like, I'm gonna go over here where I can be shy all by myself. Like,
he's gonna do that thing where he walks away without moving his arms in a single motion.
Like cats with their face.
Yeah. It's like, oh look, he's turning around and walking, and he's digging his chin into his chest, and his arms aren't moving at all.
I got to meet Stephanie from the Drunk Dorks podcast, which is an awesome show, and she was a very sweetheart too, and has an epic tattoo on her arm, which I was a huge fan of, and a very pretty little black dress that she was. There was a lot of pretty ladies that were visiting our booth. I tell you, I was in hog heaven, man. Yeah. There's nothing better than sitting there all day talking to pretty ladies. But it was an absolutely wonderful show, and John's having another show on October 17th, and I'm very tempted to go back.
There you go.
And he already offered for us to come back, and I know JR is doing the show, so I may end up doing that, because it was a hell of a lot of fun, and it's cool to be branching out into different places like that. And I actually got offers to do like 4 other Michigan shows while I was there too. So, hey, what the hell, right?
You have fun doing this.
Yeah, I know. But, that's the thing anyway. This is kind of more my thing than yours anyway.
What?
Going and sitting behind a booth. It just
I don't mind that. I just don't want to go to the Michigan shows.
No, I get that too. But and then ultimately, though, like, you got to admit, sitting behind the booth is not your thing.
No, I don't mind doing it.
You get very antsy behind the booth. You're very apt to just want to walk away and do other things. You like to walk around.
I like to sit behind the booth. I like to get up and do stuff. Sitting here and looking at people mean mugging me or giving me weird looks while they're walking by, I'm like, this is not exciting. I need to go up and do stuff.
You got to engage, man. You got to talk to the people. All right, listen to a podcast.
I don't care if they listen to our podcast.
That's the whole point of doing the show, man.
No, then the point of doing the show is so I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Talking about doing the convention behind a booth.
Yeah, I get it. So I can do whatever the fuck I want. And walk around and see shit. That's why I do the conventions.
Dave doesn't understand these things.
Dave doesn't care. Dave goes to cons for why he goes to cons.
But no, I would absolutely do it again in a heartbeat, and I'd be happy to do it. I'm trying to think of. I think our schedule is actually free pretty well as far as like behind the table stuff until October anyway. Unless something pops up between now and then, which invariably I'm sure it will, because it has every fucking month pretty much this year.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, hey, this happened. Hey, you guys want to come out to this? Oh, okay.
But, yeah, we're getting close on time because we did, some recording there that's at the beginning of the show. So, Dave and I think, are going to be watching the Justice League, the newest Justice League animated Gods and Monsters.
I've already watched it, but I'm going to watch it again because it's that fucking awesome.
And we also have some Walmarting to do.
Yeah.
Which I heard a terrible, terrible rumor that Walmarts are not going to be 24 hours anymore.
Yeah, if any of you guys have heard this,
can anyone please confirm this for us? Yeah, because I am very worried about this.
Yeah.
And granted, like, if it's true, they would only be closed for a small amount of time. It's something like 6 a.m. to 1 or something.
Yeah, 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. they might be closed. So it's like, 5 hours?
5 hours, but still.
What's the point of even doing that?
Those are my prime shopping hours, motherfucker.
But I don't understand. It's like one of those, like, what's the point?
I think it's like they can't justify as far as monetarily staying open.
Yeah, probably not.
The entire night like that.
I was going to say, it better not be for so we can stock. I'd have been like, oh no, those assholes do that shit at 10 o'clock. Like...
Only certain departments stock anyway. I'm talking to you, toy department of every motherfucking Walmart I go to.
Yeah, dicks.
You fucking dicks.
You dick, you fucking dick.
But that's going to wrap it up for this week from the basement. I'm Todd.
I'm Dave, and I'm watching videos of little tiny doggies playing with tigers.
I mean, it does hurt. It does make your soul feel good.
It does. Little fucker.
Until next time, the basement door is closed.
Later, bitches.
Bitches.